was supposed to do a video this morning, but I wasn't really feeling like it. My voice is still kind of cracking. So I just got out of the gym and I decided to, I just had this in my mind and I want to talk to you guys about knowing when to quit. What does that mean? There's a lot of people who are settling for less or are tolerating things in their life that shouldn't really be tolerated. If you're in a relationship and you feel like, okay, we've been together for 3 years or 4 years or however amount of time you've been together, and you get to a point where you're not longer happy, you're no longer excited, you're no longer celebrated, you kind of just got comfortable with the person. Two things: you either have to spice things up, and if you are meant to be in that relationship, then that will get things going again, or you have to learn to quit. You have to learn to say, hey, we had a good 3 years, a good 2 years, a good year, but I feel like we have outgrown each other. And I feel like a lot of people hold on to things because of the fear of the unknown. You don't want to leave this relationship because you don't know if you're going to find a better one, but at the same time, you feel like you deserve better. The moment you start telling yourself that I deserve a lot better than this, the moment you start telling yourself that I don't think this is what I envisioned for myself, you need to do something about it, because your feelings, if you keep suppressing them, they're going to become actions. You're going to start picking at the other person, starting a fight, being mad, being mean, being rude, just being unhappy, period. If a relationship for a relationship to work, first you gotta want to be in that relationship. You cannot pretend that you're happy. You cannot go around wasting somebody else's time and energy because you're comfortable in the relationship. Let me tell you something. The greatest way you can grow, the greatest way you can learn any motherfucking thing in this world is if you allow yourself to push through things that scare you. You gotta allow yourself to go through it. There is no way you can learn how to walk without falling. There is no way you can learn how to skate without falling. There is no way you can get up in the morning and you just run 5,000 miles. No, you gotta practice. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta give yourself a chance. You gotta learn. You gotta practice. You gotta study, whatever it is. So, and this goes for any relationship, at work, at school, career-wise. There are a lot of people today who are nurses, African people. You come to America and people tell you that nursing is what gives money. And you go into nursing, you dive into nursing, you become a nurse, an RN, and you're making a decent amount of money, but you're not happy. We in Africa are not taught to think about happiness. We're taught to think about how to feed your family, right? But I feel like it's time for you guys, you and I, to think about how you feel about stuff. Don't just do stuff because somebody told you to. Don't just be with somebody because, well, we've been together for 4 years. I feel like we've been together forever. I don't really want to start over. No, you're selling yourself short. There might be somebody out there who is way better, who is worth every single minute of your life, and you're wasting your time with average. When you could have great, when you could have amazing, when you could have perfect. Well, there's no perfect relationship, but you know what I mean. Stop selling yourself short. You gotta know when to quit. It doesn't matter if you've been with somebody for. There are people who get married for 20 years, and after that, wake up one morning and say, you know what, I love you, and I know you love me, but I feel like there's something better out there for me. That doesn't mean they've never loved you. That doesn't mean you've never loved them. It's just as people will grow. The only thing that is constant is change. And if you do not change from the moment you're 20 years old to 25 to 30 to 35, then you're just kind of wasting life. Because I don't think the way I thought when I was 15 years old. I don't act the way I acted the way I was 22. I'm 23 today, but the way I was last year is different from today. You gotta grow. Growth is every single day. It's doing something new, learning something new, listening to yourself a little more, trusting and believing in yourself a little more. So don't stay for the wrong reasons. You gotta think very clearly. The next person is not going to stop their life to save yours. So if you're in a situation where you're making yourself unhappy to make the next person happy, you're not getting anything anywhere. All you're doing is sitting there making yourself a slave to somebody else's feelings. And what about your feelings? You gotta know when to quit. I appreciate you guys, and I hope this video inspires you guys. And sometimes it's gonna hurt for you to grow. Sometimes you're gonna be in pain, but there's nothing out. If it was meant to make you grow, you're going to grow from it regardless of how you feel. So embrace change. Embrace change, and change is scary. Change is the only thing that is constant. Like for sure, something is going to change every single day of your life, whether you realize it or not. There are things that change every day in your life. So, no way to quit. Be bold enough, love yourself enough, love the next human enough to see, like, you know what, we had a good run. It was a month, it was 2 months, or whatever it is. When you get to that position where you feel like you could be doing something better, or you could be in a better place, love on them, bless them, and keep it pushing. You do not have to stay anywhere with anyone that does not bless you, inspire you, raise you, uplift you on a constant basis, because you and I are human beings and we're growing. We're beings, we're alive. You can't just settle down for one person and feel the same way over and over. There's got to be a little excitement, a few things every day that reminds you why you love this person. If you go a week without feeling ooey gooey about that person that you're with, have a talk with yourself. That's all I gotta say.